I swear I did not just fall backwards while doing that.
Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Last Epoch. Mike, one of the senior developers at 11th Hour Games, held his normal Friday Q&A live stream on Twitch, which means I get to bring you Dev Chat 63. As always, Mike answered lots of great questions and gave us a leak later on in the stream. There's actually a couple questions that he answered that surprised me. And we're not going to waste any time and start right now with a Last Epoch Armory. Mike, go.
Any plans to save builds on character and switch them when you want to change your playstyle? So this is a question about asking like a Diablo 3 Armory style system where you can,
by the way, I would
switch
love this
loadout and skill spec. So you can just say like, okay, I'm done being a bow mage. I want to flip to being I don't know, a ice puncture bow mage. Sorry. And you just walk up to it and you're like, okay, switch to my loadout, and it just switches. This is not a feature we have planned, and we actually have specifically planned not to have this feature. And so I don't think something like this is going to happen anytime soon. It's possible there's sort of a loadout templating system we've considered adding. We don't really have plans to put this in, but we've considered, one thing we've talked about doing is having a templating system whereby you could say like, you could like load up a build, and then when you go into the tree, it would like have like little asterisks beside the ones that are part of the build, so you'd like know what your build was. Not huge on that. The big problem with something like that is that you end up not learning the tree at all. You end up not, like, the trees are fairly digestible, I think. So I don't think it's unreasonable to ask people to learn even 5 trees really for one character. And not even learn, but just sort of like get a feel for it. Because if you just have a way to like import a build and it's just like you just click all the asterisks and just do what it says, I think the vast majority of people would end up having no idea what any of the nodes do at all, and it would really take away from anyone's ability to have any sort of like experimentation and input, and like we want to really foster that feeling of like seeing what's available and experimenting yourself a little bit. So yeah, I'd say unlikely but possible.
Armory, no. Mike, what do we do with all these uniques that drop, especially the useless ones?
To increase usefulness of non-legendary uniques as some sort of crafting fodder component, something that would at least incentivize those special moments when you get those drops pushed towards them, something useful for your characters. Yeah, that's something we've definitely considered, and I think it's important to look at that, because there are a lot of uniques that you're like, nah, well, just leave it on the ground. It's not even worth like picking up for the crafting mats or anything like that.
Yep.
And I could see like some sort of system along the lines of like you can shatter uniques and there's like a chance to get certain mods off them, or maybe you can like shatter uniques and there's a different material that comes out of them, or you can get like random runes out of it, or like there's you can like build towards ascendance runes or something like that. You know, like there's lots of different ways you can build systems like that in. There's this weird situation that happens when you get to like super late game and you're dropping like a lot of unique items, and picking all of them up would be very inventory micromanaging intensive, and avoiding that is also important. So it's tough to say exactly what we do. It would likely have to be something that you'd be able to do on the fly, so you wouldn't have to like go back to town to do. Not necessarily, so maybe something you could do at least in the MRest, the scene, the reward scene in between echoes. I don't know what the actual scene's called.
Or just make it you could do something in the forge. Just hit F and certain thing you could do to break down your uniques. That is a great idea. So at one point during the stream, the chat got Mike answering questions, and the way Mike answered the questions kind of got him caught, and he ended up telling us this.
No, Runemaster is not planned to be a void mastery. Yeah, I gotta be careful what I say. I know, but I don't want to be I don't want to be putting any rumors out there that are suddenly gonna be like, oh my god, it's that, and then I'd be like, no, I was just having fun on stream, and it's not actually that.
I'm sure most of us already knew that, but confirmed at least what it's not gonna be. My absolute favorite part of the stream is Mike talking about level scaling and power leveling in multiplayer. It's why on the thumbnail it says level 1 in a monolith. Listen to this, and he's gonna ramble for a little bit, but it's really good.
Well, yeah, playing up, playing down, level scaling, is there any sort of stuff like that? So currently the system is such that there is no level scaling in place at all. If you are level 100 and you go to level 1 zone, you are dealing level 100 damage and you are slaughtering stuff like you're like a level 100 god you are. If you are a level 1 and you go into a level 100 zone, you are getting your ass handed to you like a level 1 noob that you are. It is there's nothing there. The one mechanic that is related, that quite often comes up as the next question after this is, okay, if I'm a level 1 in a level 100 zone and I've got a level 100 carrying me, am I gaining experience like in a level 100 zone like normal? No. You're gaining level experience. It's the same way that's already in game now. You cannot gain experience faster than 5 levels above your current level. So right now, level 96, so it doesn't matter. So in that situation where a level 1 is in a level 100 zone and like an enemy dies, you gain experience as though that enemy was level 6, because that's 5 levels higher than what you are. So it still is an increase. And to power level someone, the most efficient way would likely be to just take them to a zone where they could survive, while the high level player kills things rather quickly. So like, I don't know, an early monolith perhaps, where the level 100 could just cruise through no problem, and the level 1 would still level up as though it's level 6 zone, but it would be pretty quick, and then you'd be able to keep going, and you wouldn't out-level the level differential bonus or penalty too fast. If that makes any sense. And then the other follow-up question that usually comes when I answer something like that is, whoa, Mike, you're saying that I can take a level 1 into the monolith? Yeah. If you've got a friend that you've partied with, and so right now you can, there's like the party frames show up here where there's like a little portrait of the person, and there's a little portal button right beside their name, a little like blue portal button, and you tap that and it opens your town portal just like normal, except instead of town portal it says their name at the top and it just takes you to them. So if they go stand in the monolith and you jump to them, then you're in the monolith.
So much good info shared, but ultimately when this system actually drops, we could have leveling nights, we could do certain things, but ultimately your level 1 could join me in that first monolith and we could power all the way through. I like it. I gotta say, feel like Mike was really on his game this Friday for the community. Thank you, sir. Listen to this.
Any news on multiplayer? No, not specifically. We are still working on it. It's going well. I think there's probably going to be an announcement soonish regarding something with more people, maybe. I don't know. I really should have asked game before I started saying that sentence, but I expect expanding the program will happen at some point before 4.9 happens.
Sounds like it's happening soon, or at least an announcement. Mike, thank you. It is time for the teaser of this stream. Go.
Celebration teaser. Just another nothing too groundbreaking today, but we've got I think this is not the starting set, but the first gear you find at the start of the game for Mage set.
Ooh.
Little robes there. Nice coloring. Little T-pose action. Yeah.
Intro armor.
Dev mode activated. No! I can't... Okay, I guess you guys don't know this, but like the dev mode stuff is like really obvious on screen. and there also isn't a dev mode command for that, so... I wish there was. It would make making gear for these streams so much easier.
I bet. One leak, I'll take it. All right, everyone, we have come to our final question of the stream, and I'm going to allow Mike to ramble for a little bit and take out the video. Now, before I do that, Mike, thank you so much for your Friday community live streams. We really appreciate it, and you were on point this Friday. It just let a little more come out. It makes us happy. 2 asks at the end of this video. Ask number 1, I'm hoping today's the day I have earned your subscription. Hoping today is the day you push that little red button. I would really appreciate it. It really does help the channel. We're 650 subs away for a goal of 20,000 on the year. Ask number 2, check out my Patreon. Thank you to the first 42 members that have signed up. We have a weekly podcast, weekly blog post, access to the VIP lounge in the Discord, special title, and there's 6 different tiers. So based upon the tier, you get extra goodies. First link in the description. That's all I've got. Mike, take us away with some future systems that might be coming to the game.
Questions being asked, might as well talk about the favorite system. Cool, yeah. Love getting questions in. Lost memories or even trade. You know, just throwing it out there. Yeah, so like I don't have anything major I can share about any of those things because none of them are done yet. Lost Memories is interesting because it was a system that we had planned a long time ago and had talked about a long time ago and had sort of like a rough outline of what we wanted it to be. And we made we made a bunch of changes to the monolith system. We made some new, we created the dungeon system. We changed how arenas work. We did a lot of things, and it kind of made Lost Memories not really the original vision we had for them. Just sort of be like, well, that's not gonna work. And so a lot of the stuff we had considered sort of just went out the window, but there's some of the thematic stuff that it really hits, and we had a couple other ideas for ways it could work that were really good that we were like, okay, let's keep it on as like a name for a feature, but we're gonna remake the feature as something completely different. And so that happened like 2 years ago now, I would say. And we haven't really done anything about it since then, really. I haven't like added the features or really worked on them and specified exactly what they're going to be. But as far as like a favor system, that's something we've talked about. I don't know when we've talked about that or how much we've discussed what that's going to be. But I think one of the key things about it is having a progression system that's not tied as stringently to your character level, but more tied to multiple systems throughout the game. So it's something that you can advance without being like, okay, like when you're playing Monolith, you're advancing your Monolith progression. When you're playing Dungeons, you're advancing your Dungeon progression. And there's a little bit of crossover with the keys and like the gear you get from things like that. But there's no direct like. You can't unlock a new dungeon tier by completing a monolith. You can't unlock a new monolith island by completing a dungeon, right? Like there's no direct cross progression unlocks there. And so I think that's an important part about a like this nebulous favor system we've sort of touched on is having the progression to that not be tied directly to any one endgame system, like any one game activity, I think is a better way to put it probably. So you are still like a little bit more able to have that progression where it's not tied to your character level or any other endgame systems as much, where you could focus on it or ignore it, and like you might see like a level, I don't know, level 70 to level 100 that have the same favorite progressions. That'd be pretty unlikely, but I bet it could be done, sort of thing. And that's still very much up in the air on details for it, so